Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Red Bull, classic Red Bull. But before I do that, I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory, an actual story of the first time I became aware of Red Bull. So the year was either 98 or 99, and I know this because I was working at a Del Taco in Ontario, California. And at that time, it's important to know, at that time, and in the late 90s and before that, that energy drinks were like unheard of. Red Bull, Monster, all that stuff. Did they exist? Maybe somewhere in the world or whatever. Energy drinks existed, but they weren't popular at all. Okay, so, and neither were fancy coffees either. So for kids, like teenagers and below, if they wanted some kind of caffeine, they would either drink soda or it was mostly soda. If you're a kid, teenager, or whatever, you drank mostly soda if you wanted some caffeine, Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, whatever, right? Okay, maybe some kids drank tea, but it was really uncommon for kids to drink coffee because it wasn't fancy coffees. It was just like straight black coffee, and that's pretty much what adults drank. Adults just drank like black coffee or maybe some coffee with cream or sugar. There's no, fancy Starbucks coffees, mochaccino, frappuccino, all those kinds of things. Okay, so keep that in mind when I'm telling my story. Caffeine at that time was soda, coffee, tea, pretty much is what I'm saying. And as a teenager, I was 16 years old at the time. So for me, it was soda. That's what I drank. I drank Coca-Cola because my dad drank Coca-Cola. So that's what I had. So anyhow, I was working at Del Taco. And this guy came. I remember if it was one or two guys, but this guy came in and he had like a Red Bull shirt. I didn't know what it was. He had a Red Bull shirt on, and I think he had like smaller cans than this. This is just the 8.4 fluid ounces, 250 milliliters. If you could see that on there. But I think they might have had like smaller sample ones. I don't remember. But they were trying to give free samples. And that was another thing back then at that time. This was kind of before you saw like no soliciting allowed on businesses or even houses. People would come in. People would come in with like random products sometimes. Like, oh, you want to try this? Or you want to buy some of these coupons or whatever. It was kind of a common thing. Not all the time, but it was kind of common. So these guys came in and I was working the cashier. And they tried to give me free samples of this Red Bull. Oh yeah, it's got this and that. They're trying to explain to me all the stuff that's in it. It gives energy and all this kind of stuff, right? And I was like, no. I'm 16 years old. You ain't gonna pull one over on me. I know you're just trying to get me to buy something, right? And then that was it. So they came in, they offered it to me. I said, no thanks. And they might have offered the other employees too, some free samples. And that was it. And like I didn't hear about Red Bull, or like I didn't not hear about it. I didn't consume Red Bull for like another 20 years. It wasn't probably until like 2018 that I like first tried Red Bull, and it's for different reasons. One, like I said, because I mostly drank soda, and then there was a time like 6 years or so that I didn't consume caffeine at all, and so I just never had it. For whatever reason, I just never had Red Bull. I might have had some tea, something else, but just not an energy drink. I just never had any energy drinks. And then, once I had it in 2018, it was kind of, that's been it since there. I've been drinking it on and off, It's part of my caffeine repertoire now. Sometimes I have Red Bull or, another energy drink or coffee or tea or soda or whatever. So anyhow, to the review. So this is regular Red Bull right here. Okay, and as I'm reviewing it, let me pop this open and I'll just kind of sip it as I'm reviewing it here. I know what it tastes like. It's nothing new, but like, just to get my mind aglow, Sorry if I'm looking down. I'm on my phone camera, and so the camera's actually up at top, but my natural inclination is to look like towards the center of the phone. So it looks like I'm looking, like my eyes look like kind of closed, so I'm sorry. But I should be looking up here, but my eyes want to look at my face, so I apologize. I keep looking down. Anyhow, so regular Red Bull. Just got this from Home Depot, actually. We're at Home Depot right now. Okay, so the first part of the review. Okay, the first thing, like one of the first things that I noticed was the smaller size of the can. Not it's 8.4 ounces, but the girth, I guess, is called the can, the circumference You know, you could see, I could almost put my fingers around it. My hands aren't that big, but I could almost put my hands around it. And that's one of the big differences nowadays. You know, a lot of companies are all about like slim cans. You know, there's a lot of slim stuff. I mean, you see slim like Oreo cookies nowadays, and slim this and that. You know, somebody up at top somewhere in a company, you know, did some research, and maybe they found out, oh, people associate slim things with, I don't know, being thinner or something like that. I mean, there's slim cigarettes now, all kinds of slim stuff. So that's one of the first things I noticed, that the can is slimmer than, say, like a can of Coca-Cola or something like that. Yeah, I can't do this with a can of Coca-Cola where I could pretty much put my hand around it. So that's one thing. And I think they did that also because, like, women and children have smaller hands. And so I'm assuming, you know, if you're younger, like, say, maybe 10 years old. Well, they don't want to market to 10-year-olds. But whatever, a younger person or a woman, you have a smaller hand, and you're trying to grab like a can of Coke, maybe it seems kind of like too large for your hand, and so they're trying to target other people just besides, you know, grown men. You know, they want it to feel comfortable in a woman's hand or in a young teenager's hand, even though you can't market to children, right? So I think that's part of the reason for the thinner can too, as well as, like I said, the psychological of, oh, hey, this is thinner, you could be thinner, okay? That's one of the first things. And as for the colors, I like the colors a lot, the little blue and gray. That's just, for my eyes personally, I love the color gray. I like kind of like darker colors. Not really a big fan of like red or like whatever. Although, I mean, I drink the Red Bull or whatever. But so I like the colors. Okay, so, you know, the can, it's a good design can. It's appealing to the eye. You know, the classic pop top, nothing fancy about that. I've seen some different tops on other energy drinks. Some of them you like slide them or whatever. But it's a classic that they've been doing for like 40, 50 years. You just, you know, as you've seen, you just pop the top there. You know, so yeah, so good design on the can. Now, also, got the calories and all the stuff in there. So let's get to that. That's one of the things, another backstory that's changed in the past like 30 years. I remember in the early 90s, I want to say it was, they didn't have ingredients on any food product, at least in the United States. I don't know about other countries. You know, now there's detailed ingredients, but yeah, there's no nutrition facts. I know that for certain. You know, you couldn't look on there and see how much like B12 and this and that were on there. There's none of that. And I don't even believe that there is any ingredients. It was just the advertising of the company. If you ever find like an older can from the early 90s or before that, you're not going to see any of that stuff. So that's one thing I like nowadays in general, and you know, Red Bull's no exception. It has everything that's in there on there. You know, they're able to legally hide some stuff under like natural flavors in the United States, and I don't know if that artificial flavors, natural and artificial flavors. So there's some legal loopholes where they can do that, but pretty much everything that's in the can is on the can, which I like, you know. So now about the ingredients. Okay, so what I like about the ingredients is that it uses real sugar instead of like high fructose corn syrup, which you see in the United States in a lot of sodas, which I don't like at all. Or in diet drinks, you see like aspartame or sucralose. I don't like that at all either. So I like that. They use sugar. It's also glucose. I think that's a type of sweetener, you know. But again, no high fructose corn syrup or anything like that. Just basically real sweetener, which I respect. Okay, everything else is pretty standard. Water and, you know, carbonated water and taurine. You know, I haven't really researched a lot of these ingredients, but nothing really stands out as horrible to me. The only other thing that I'm not really too fond of is the vitamin B6. You probably can't read it, so I mean, you could just find a can of Red Bull. It's 200, and this small can is 250% of vitamin B6. I don't know if B6 is one of those where you could kind of get too much of it, whereas like, because there's also B12. But B12, they haven't found like there's any kind of upper limit of how much B12 you get. You could get like thousands of percents. You could take that every day and you'd be fine. But B6, I'm not so certain. So I kind of don't like that there's so much B6. I wish it was reversed. There's actually 80% of B12, but 250% of B6. I wish it was flipped. That's one thing that if I could change it. I wish there was 250% of B12 and only 80% of B6, or even less. Okay, so that's one thing. Sugar's not too much here, 26 grams, but it is a small can. But otherwise, yeah, the ingredients are pretty decent. Vitamins, I like that there is, I guess that's for the energy. B12 is, I think it's for metabolism. I think B6 helps you, not digest, I don't know, helps you absorb B12 or whatever. Niacin, don't really know what that is. Panthenolic acid, don't know what that is, but it's not too much. So yeah, between the labeling and the ingredients and all that, I don't hate it. And that's one reason I drink it, because I like the ingredients. Again, like no high fructose corn syrup or stuff like that. So I like that. I like real sugar stuff. Okay, so that's why I like it. Okay, now let's talk about taste. I mean, we're doing a review, so I like the taste. Okay. Now they claim on here somewhere, I know I've seen it before, it says lightly carbonated. I know I've seen that. And I suppose that's so, because you know how when you drink carbonated drinks, you burp a lot. This one I found I don't burp so much. I mean, I'm not that I mind. I like the carbonated burping. So yeah, they did lightly carbonated. I remember reading that on here somewhere, and that's cool. It's good enough to give the carbonated taste and whatever. It doesn't hinder the drink at all. But the taste I would describe as, I don't know, fruity, I guess. I mean, it doesn't taste like soda. It's definitely, I mean, if you did a blind taste test with this and soda, it's definitely different than soda. I do like the fancy guys with the wine, where they spit it out, or they swish it around their mouth. Might as well do that, right? Hit all the taste buds and the palates and everything. I don't know. I mean, I know it's bad for reviewing to say, oh, it's good, but I mean, it's good. It's like, it's not overly sweet. It's not overly bitter. That's one thing I found with other energy drinks. Sometimes there's too much caffeine. Oh, I didn't talk about the caffeine. There's 80 milligrams, which is good. The caffeine content in relation to the size of the can is really good with Red Bull, where some, they get crazy. I mean, you see like 250, 300 milligrams, and especially if there's no sugar in them, then you can really taste the bitterness of the caffeine. So Red Bull really balanced it out well. Not too much, not too little. I mean, you want enough to where you get the caffeine buzz, but you don't want so much to where really it just tastes nasty. You don't basically, in this, oh shoot, I almost dropped some. You don't taste the caffeine. Maybe a little bit, I don't know if you're not used to it, but it's just, it's a really good balanced drink, and I think that's why I like it. If you're worried about your calories, 100 calories, say you're doing a 2,000 calorie diet, there's only 100. You drink, if you're trying to watch your calories or whatever, you just drink one a day, and have your other 1,900 calories in food. Probably would be fine. But other than that, yeah, it makes you feel good, at least for a little while, until you crash from caffeine. But that's any caffeine. You could drink tea or whatever. So, overall, not just Red Bull, but this energy drink thing, it's really popular right now. Whether it'll last for a long time, I don't know. But I do think, like I said, that some companies are putting too much caffeine in their drinks. Then, I don't know. Like I said, make it taste like crap. Then your crash is worse, because then your next day you have to have another 300 milligrams of caffeine. So, yeah, I think some companies need to calm down. But Red Bull, it's already calm. That's my review. I think it's good. If I had to rate it out of 10 for energy drinks, it's a good 8. Red Bull's a good 8 out of 10. That's my review.